So lately I've been embracing my inner country boy. Now I'm from South Florida, that ain't too country. But country was the way I grew up. And the way I saw my mother make smothered chicken, it's the same way I'm gonna teach you how to do it as well. Come on in, family. Let's go. Let's go ahead and get into these ingredients for the smothered country style chicken. Okay, so here we have some eggs, and I have 3. It doesn't really matter how much you use. I guess you use as much as you need. But instead of doing milk and buttermilk and all of that, I'm going to use water. I like using water because what it does is it thins it out and doesn't allow it to clunk and be, you know, sometimes you'll get it where they have the oil too high. It'll be a little doughy inside because it's too thick on the inside. So this is the way I like to do when I fry chicken. This is how I like to do it. All right, so we have some chopped up onions and some roughly chopped mushrooms. I had some mushrooms in the refrigerator that I needed to use. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw these in there. I love mushrooms. You don't have to put them in there if you don't want. But then I got some onions as well. And then we have some better than bouillon chicken base that we have here. Is about 3 cups. May not use all of it, not for sure. Then we have our flour. Now, I'm not going to season this flour because I don't need to. This better than bouillon has flavor to it, and it can be a little salty if you use too much. And I am going to liberally season this chicken. So we don't really need, I mean, it's not like we're frying the chicken and eating it, you know, fried or anything. So we're gonna have, you know, some other stuff in there that's gonna allow it to be flavorful. Speaking of which, I have my seasoning here. Now, again, I've been saying this for a while, watch out for the seasoning. This is my own special blend. In talks with co-packers right now to try to get that out to you. And then we have our chicken. Now, I have 4 chicken thighs here. I'm just gonna cook up 4 of them. Now, one of the problems you'll find when you're doing this recipe is you don't have a big enough pot and you may have to cook several pieces of chicken. I would say use 2 different pans and make sure they're the biggest pans that you have, or Dutch ovens or whatever. That will help you create a better product. So 4 of these, and we're not going to cook it on high, we're not going to cook it on medium high. We're going to be somewhere in between medium and medium low, because we don't want this chicken to burn and we don't want our oil to burn, because we're going to use that oil to make our roux. Now, doing a roux with oil is so much different than doing it with butter. It's going to take a lot of patience and it's going to take a lot of time to come together. So you want to have yourself some time set aside so you can get that roux perfectly done. But we're going to walk you through it and we're going to make sure you're okay with it. All right, so with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. All right, folks, so first and foremost, let's go ahead and get some water off in here. I don't really have a measurement because I use a different number of eggs every time. It just depends on how much I'm going to be frying. And so I just kind of whip it up until I can get the thickness out of this egg mixture, but still have enough in there that's going to coat it and enough water to not allow it to clump up. All right, so all right, so I put just a little bit more in there. So I had 2 cups, so I wound up using about a little over half a cup for these 3 eggs, and these are large eggs. So that should be good. We'll go ahead, move on to the next step. All right, so on to the next step. So normally if I'm barbecuing chicken or if I'm frying chicken, I keep this on here, especially when I fry chicken. I like this little crispy part here. But since it's smothered chicken, I'm gonna go ahead and get these excess pieces off. And so we don't have to worry about that. One thing my wife hates is she doesn't like the soft chicken skin. You know, she's particular about what she puts in her mouth. Bruh. That didn't come out right. That didn't come out right. My wife is very particular about the things she eats. She doesn't like certain textures of meat. You know, this is, I'm doing this because my wife don't like it. Hi, honey. So we're looking pretty good. Now, let's go ahead and start seasoning these up. We'll do the bottom first, and then we'll get the top done. All right, so let's get this bad boy all nice and seasoned up. And I'm gonna season this up really good. It's gonna go off in the egg mixture, and some will come off, but we should be fine. Should have a nice taste to it. It'll all come together at the end. So we're gonna put a good amount on here. Press it down in there. Don't be scared to get off in there and smash it down. Again, folks, don't know how much to tell you. I can't teach you how to season. You gotta learn how to flip that wrist on your own. Go ahead and turn these over. All right, now that we have that all figured out, we'll go ahead and move this to the side. All right, now that we have that out of the way and nice and seasoned up, we'll go ahead and put our chicken off in the batter and then straight into the flour. And since I have only 4 pieces, this should be an easy thing to do. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start. As you can see, that flour has absorbed into the chicken. It doesn't have that white coated look, but it has absorbed, so we don't have to worry about too much of the flour falling off. Now, I don't want this grease too hot, okay? I don't want this cooking at a high temperature. I just want it to a point where it can allow it to cook without burning the oil or getting too much of the flour on the bottom and allowing that to burn as well, okay? So I got this, hopefully you can see that, and that's like a medium low. You don't want to get it up too high. This is just going to allow it to cook at a nice temperature. So when we get ready to flip it over, we'll be back. All right, family, so as you see, we have a nice soft fry going on here. And so when we turn this thing over, look at the golden brown color, okay? We are not burnt, we are not, you know, too dark, but we have a nice color. And if you pay attention to the oil, it doesn't have a lot of burnt up flour inside of it. See, that's what you're looking for. That's what you're looking for right there. And this is nice and crispy. All of these are nice and crispy. So we're gonna go ahead and go a few more minutes on this side. Let this side, let some of that grease get off into there so it can cook some of the inside. And then we'll be back when we get ready to go ahead and put our onions and mushrooms in. All right, family, so we're back. Man, look at how beautiful this is coming out. So we're gonna go ahead, put these to the side. I let the bottom cook a little bit longer because that bone is right there. You want to kind of pierce that bone a little bit. So again, it's not done all the way. And you shouldn't try to overcook it too much. All right, so here, so at this point, I'll go ahead and put in my onions and my mushrooms. Put those bad boys in there. All right, family, let's go ahead and get some of our flour off in here. Get that incorporated. Now, I don't need this to be too thick, so I'm going to hold off on trying to equal out the flour to oil ratio. Okay, but I'm going to put enough in there to soak it up, and then we'll go ahead and get our chicken stock off in there. And that's pretty good to me. Now, when making a roux, it's usually 50-50. Of course, put the oil in and want it to cover the bottom, and also make it good enough so it kind of, so the chicken is kind of halfway in the oil, halfway out. Now this is the part where you kind of look at it and you kind of dictate how you want your gravy to be. So I'm okay with it being, I don't want it thick. I don't want it thick because it'll take over the whole dish if it's too thick. You know, thick gravy is for putting on a turkey or some mashed potatoes or some duck or something if you're just pouring it over something. Something like this, something's going to be cooked in it, you want it a little loose, so because it's going to thicken up as it cooks. So you want it a little loose, so it's okay if you don't have that perfect measurement between oil and flour. Okay, so all I'm doing now is I'm just cooking it off, and I'm allowing for this. To cook the flour taste off of the flour. Okay. All right. So we'll go ahead and get our chicken stock together. We'll incorporate that. As you see, the immediate thickening of this. Now, from this point, you can go one or two ways. You can add milk, or you can just add some more water, because this is pretty thick, and of course it's not enough to go over the chicken. So I'm going to go ahead and add some water to it. So we can thin this out. And now, the reason why I'm not going to add any milk to it is because I only cook these things almost halfway. So these things are going to need some time in this gravy to go ahead and cook off. So at this point, I'll turn to my whisk to get this evened all out. And I'll probably even go in and add some more water just to get volume so the chicken can be in there covered with this gravy. All right, so I'm going to add a little bit more chicken stock in here, along with some more water. And that's so I don't lose that chicken taste, because I'm adding a lot of water so I can cover this chicken up. All right, so this is the consistency I want right now. Okay, this is the consistency that I want right now, and I'm going to keep stirring it to break up that concentrate. So I put another teaspoon of the chicken better than bouillon in there. Now I'm going to put the chicken back in there, and now it's nice and covered. It's not as covered as I would like, but that's okay. Go ahead and put that in there as well. Put that in there as well. Now, so fully submerged, and this is going to cook down, and it's going to get a little bit thicker, but not so much where it's starting to scorch and burn on the bottom. So we'll go ahead, put a top on this, and I'm going to go ahead and transfer this over to the electric stove. Cook it on low. The electric stove is going to turn on and off, and I can kind of dictate, you know, how it cooks with the electric stove. So once we're done, we will be right back. All right, family, here we are. Man, oh man. So this thing has been cooking for a little over an hour and a half. The gravy has cooked down, exposing this chicken, man. This thing, I tasted this gravy too, man, a little while ago, and it's absolutely delicious. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this plate ready to go so we can get ready for this taste testing. All right, family. Got my plate together. Got these bad boys on here. I'm ready to go in. Put a little yellow rice and some little cornbread on there. Don't worry about that. We gonna go ahead, test. I had to let it cool off. This thing was piping hot, but I had to let it cool off. So let me find, man, I need a, there we go, right there. There it go. Yeah, look at that bone right there. Yeah, oh, the bone done came out. I'll be damned. Oh my Lord. Boy, this thing is, you know what? Here's what I'll do. Had to switch to a fork, man. This thing is so tender. It ain't finna stay together for nothing. Man, oh man, oh man. Boy, that thing tastes like the back roads of Georgia. That thing's so good. Go on, man, go on, man. Got a little gristle. I ain't that country. Man, listen, man. Hold on, let me get one more bite. Hold on. Let me get some of this skin off. Man, that skin is so good, so flavorful, so delicious. God almighty, I'm trying to be greedy and get all, oh, man, this thing here, man. Man. Wow. Man. That thing will do something right there. Whew. Look at fam. Wow. Listen, my first time doing smothered chicken. I do have a video for smothered turkey wings. Might want to go check that one out. And that came out just as good as this one. So go on, don't forget, I'm gonna put it up there for you. Put it in the button for you. Check out them smothered turkey wings. So listen, folks. I'm tired. I've done 2 videos today, and I'm beat. I'm gonna go sit back, have me a glass of bourbon or 5, nice old cigar on my patio, nice and cool outside, That is, of course, after I finish this off. So family, thank you so much for watching. Go ahead, hit that like button if you got any value out of the content you just seen. And don't forget, for those who are not, hit that subscribe button. Come on now, that's the only way you're gonna be part of the family. And while you're at it, hit that notification bell. That'll keep you up to date on everything that we are doing here on this channel. So folks, till the next time we see you, till the very, very next video. As always, family,